welcome to the Season 3 premiere of Watch Me Suck at Bowling, coming to you from what will now be the new home to the season premiere, New Palace Lanes, Fitchburg, Mass. Watch Me Suck at Mini Golf has a home for the initial start, which is Mason's, so bowling needs it. Now, plans were that this was going to be a 10-pin video, but finances and other plans just did not pan out. So it also makes sense we debut the season where we fund a tournament called King of the Palace, which happens here at New Palace Lanes, and perfect place to do it. Drop off my money, get some bowling in, and stick around for the tournament. We know how everything is inside and what have not, so let's go in and situate. We are inside the palace, home of the hit Candlepin TV show King of the Palace, which is recording today on the 29th of September, doubles men and women's. And speaking of King of the Palace, Watch Me Suck at Bowling is proud to sponsor the hit Candlepin TV show King of the Palace. Watch people that don't suck instead of me. If you want to see the show, type in King of the Palace in the YouTube search bar. And if you like it enough to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when the new videos are coming, go to youtube.com/New Palace Lanes. Since it's been a while, it's time to review once again the highs and lows that we have got thus far. In the land of Candlepins, we got a high of 139 while qualifying for the Putnam Street tournament. Oddly enough, with people. Usually I do worse. And the 44 is from Mason's, and that's when I started to try bowling the right way. Although it wasn't immediate, it was a few games after the fact. In the land of the Ducks, we got a high of 147 at Collins Bowladrome. Shortly after the new high of 120 something or other from Chelmsford Lanes. And speaking of Chelmsford Lanes, that's where the low of 58 happened, which was because pin cam was in the lane and the approaches were very short. Once the camera was moved to the gallery, things went much better. As we go down the list, so does my ability to play the game by the laws of averages, which is now we're at 10 pin. A 160 is the high. Tied it at the impromptu at Gardner recently. Originally hit the 160 at Playaway Lanes in Winchendon, Massachusetts. And the low, yes, that is a real number, 26, was done at Weymouth Lanes when I was trying to do the Belmo approach. In other words, two-handed. Did not work. And those are the scores so far. And now, back to bowling, or setting up for it. So this being the premiere episode for the season of number 3, there's a season now because of the summer King of the Palace. We will be bowling on lane number 5, and the very first game of the season is always a triple. And to move the show along, plus make it easier to edit, similar to impromptus, we will do halftime reports and not every other frame. I do not have my house balls out yet. There they are, as if by magic they suddenly appeared. My Epco urethane pro-life bowling balls, the only professional about the bowling you're about to see. In fact, the banners for King of the Palace are not even up yet. It's time to stop stalling, and it's now time for those famous words you've been waiting for since it's been on hiatus for a little bit. It's now time to watch me suck at bowling on lane number 5.
Before we start, there's been another change made, and where it's possible it will be done. When I first played, I bowled balanced the way I was taught. It means a ball in each hand. A pin camera was used as the balance. When I got better to bowl regularly, I put up a pin cam behind my head. And the ball rolled slow enough I could get out of its way and give you that dead-on approach. Now for this season, because the ball's going fast enough and me ducking out of the camera has caused problems with the game, if it's possible, I'm going to have the camera off to the side, which you will see here. So my head will hopefully not be in the way. If it is, so be it. The price to pay for throwing the ball a little faster. And with that being said, game 1, frame 1, ball 1. Ball 2, David Letterman left. Looks like coming off of duck pin's gonna hurt a little bit. Might lob too. Ball 3, I gotta remember it's like impromptu. Don't duck away from the camera. If I'm in the way, I'm in the way. Old habits are hard to break, and we start with a pathetic 6. And for those of you like the pin setters, it's the Bullmore in action. And there you go. Frame 2, ball 1. Old habits die hard, plus the Palace Gods hate my guts equals I just can't do well here. Dumb luck. I'll take it. Ball 2. That was dumb luck. Ball 3. And a 7. Frame 3, ball 1. I was going to do a live video of me citing the highs and lows, but there were vacuuming going on and stuff. I'll have that thrown in. Ball 2. Impromptu, I'm fine. Don't watch me suck, I'm still got the habit of ducking out of the camera. Ball 3. Finally, a halfway decent frame of 8. Frame 4, ball 1. Needless to say, my high triple of 314, not going anywhere. Ball 2. Am I finally warming up? Am I going to blow this opportunity for a spare? Let's find out. Nope, got it. Frame 5, ball 1. El Stinko bonus ball. What will the bonus be? If it's good, put the game right back on track. That'll help, an 8. Ball 2, that put it back. And for the record, according to ICBA standards for casual league bowlers, yes, I put myself in a league that I'm low. Average ability is 90. 80 to 100 is considered average play. Let's see if we can get to 90. Ball 3. I'm still kind of getting out of the way of the pin cam. I set it to the side so it wouldn't be an issue. I gotta remember not to do that. The bowling god's middle finger, right?
There was a little bit of a rough start, forgetting that the pin cam is off to the side. We didn't have to duck down or make any special moves. But as we went along, that started to fade away and the scores went up. Lousy 6-1 for the warm-up, then got a little better with a 7-2, 8-3, then we got a spare in 4, and El Stinko, the bonus ball, gave us a nice 8 fill, and one more for 9, total of 48.
Frame 6, ball 1. Ball 2. Ball 3, too full on the hit pin. Not bad, a 9. Frame 7, ball 1. For those of you who say I don't suck at Candlepin, which I can hold my own usually, even for the just for fun competitions, I don't do very well. So I still do some. Ball 2. Picked her up. Frame 8, ball 1. You know what time it is. It's time for El Stinko, the bonus ball. What will the bonus be this time? Another good one? Will it live up to its name? Will it be the greatest thing ever? Let's find out. Seven works. Ball 2. Ball 3. Am I gonna let the bowling god do that to me again? Yep, but still a 9. Frame 9, ball 1. So far, game 1 is good. In my books. That one, got 314. Oh, hey, can't have it all. Ball 2. Ball 3. This time it's the kingpin that's remaining. So close, but so far. The king decides to stick around for the win. Last frame of game 1, ball 1. If I leave that many standing or less, 3 digits, the 314 might be a thing. Ball 2, punching out David Letterman's does not help. And half listeners don't help either. Ball 3, I guess we can kiss the hundreds goodbye. It's still a good game. Nope, no hundreds. Lousy 5, but at least not a stinker. On to game number 2.
Outside of the very end, the back half wasn't all that bad either. Got a 9 and 6, spare and 7, 9 and 8, the first 7 counting towards the fill of the spare, a pair of 9s and 8 and 9, and then the 5 and 10. Still a 97. On to game number 2.
Game 2, frame 1, ball 1. So close. 314 is still possible. Put money on it. Nah. Ball 2. Ball 3. That was a good ball. So close yet so far again. Starting with a 9. Frame 2, ball 1. Ball 2, leaving the new palace right. Ball 3. Hey, corner pins are hard, especially without wood to help. It be a 9. Frame 3, ball 1. Ball 2. Ball 3. Good news is about 75% of the lane will get me something. Bad news is we gotta stop ducking out of the way of pink can. It's off to the side. Decent 8. Frame 4, ball 1. Ball 2. There we go. First mark of this game. Frame 5, ball 1. Mark for mark, it matches up with the previous game so far. That means it's time for El Stinko bonus ball. What will it be this time? Better? Worse? Hopefully good at least? That's about as good as a bonus ball can get.
So far, we've got a fairly strong start. A pair of 9s in 1 and 2, an 8 and 3. Got a spare in 4 with the best possible fill you can get, the strike in 5. So far, we are at a 56 with 2 El Stinko the bonus balls to come. Will the momentum continue? Is the 314 in jeopardy?
Frame 6, ball 1. 2 El Stinko the bonus balls. What will they add up to? Putnam Street Lanes, Brian's Bowlaway of all places, and Acton Bowlodrome, the 3 places where I've got 2 in a row. Can New Palace join that, in spite of how the Palace gods hate my guts? Let's see. The answer will be no, and El Stinko 1 lived up to its name with a 3. Ball 2, El Stinko 2. Seven's not the best fill on a strike, but for intents and purposes of scoring, not too bad. Ball 3, the score jumped. Can I break my 314? Which, by the way, that happened here. My high single is a 139, happened at Putnam's. Lowest, 44, Mason's. Highest I ever got here, 126. That says I got screwed written all over it. That's a 7. Speaking of 7, that's what frame this is. 1. Ball 2, half Worcester. Dave Madla says it's pretty when it goes on the second ball. Ball 3. It did not go. We got 4 horsemen and a friend behind it. Another 7. Frame 8, going downhill, ball 1. Frame 9, ball 1. Once again, 2 El Stinko the bonus balls. What will they add up to? El Stinko 1 was a weak 4, which was better than the 3 from the previous. Ball 2. Again, 6 helps with the score before a strike that isn't too good. Ball 3. In 3-digit territory with an 8. Last frame of game 2, ball 1. In this place being easy, I usually can get, I can't talk, at least 1 game in 3 digits. We're there. Ball 2. 3. That was a bit odd. And with 8.
The last half of this game was a little weak. We got a pair 7s in 6 and 7. Then we got a strike in 8. Unfortunately, we only got a 6 fill from the 8 and 9, and another 8 and 10. Fairly solid game of 109. On to game number 3, and the question is, will we keep the momentum up? Is the triple in jeopardy? Or per usual, are we going to crash?
Game 3, frame 1, ball 1. I gotta put another one of these better games together. It's possible. Ball 2. Ball 3. I think the Palace gods woke up. I'm getting screwed more often now. That's a 7. Frame 2, ball 1. Ball 2. 4 horsemen. Piece of wood there that could be pretty helpful. Ball 3. It looks like the bowling gods are telling me something again. Yep, they're awake. It's a 9. Frame 3, ball 1. How will this episode end? Third game crashing, or third game pretty good, but within a couple of points of hitting the triple. Ball 2. Ball 3. Yep, I guess this will be the bad one. It's a 7. Frame 4, ball 1. So far, I'm doing better than the 97 game, but we need marks to back that up. Ball 2. Ball 3, first stink frame. Well, say goodbye to 314. That's a stink frame of 4. Frame 4, ball 1. Ball 2. Ball 3. How appropriate. Bowling God's middle finger for the 9.
What a disaster that turned out to be. 7-1, 9-2, 7-3, stink frame of 4-4, and a decent 9. We are only at 36. Well, there's still some hope. There have been strong finishes before. Will it happen this time?
Frame 6, ball 1. Hey, I've got hot at the end of a game. It could happen again. Ball 2. If the wood bounced the proper way. Tell you, I think the Palace gods are awake now. Ball 3. Oddly enough, I've got strikes, I've got spares, have not got a 10 yet. Still haven't. Kingpin for the night. Frame 7, ball 1. Yeah, this looks like the game that ends in a whimper. Let's make it at least a good one. Ball 2. Ball 3. Looks like the fire's out. Another crappy 5. Frame 8, ball 1. Looks like this isn't even going to be a good game. The typical crash at the end of the triple. Ball 2. I'm getting crap all the time now. Ball 3. That killed it for 9. Frame 9 of the collapse, part 1. Ball 2. Ball 3. Yeah, like it matters now. Not enough to matter. An 8. Last frame, last game, the typical collapse and failure, ball 1. Ball 2 just landed into mediocre territory. Yay! Ball 3 like I care at this point.
Hopes were that things were going to get hot at the end, but it didn't. I mean, it was a bit promising with the 9 and 6. Then the 5 happened in 7, then a 9 and 8. At this time a mark was needed, but 8 came up instead of 9. And then frame 10 didn't matter, so left it at 3, ending with a pathetic 70. Pathetic compared to everything else. Barely making mediocrity The chance at the 314 completely ruined. That concludes week 1 of 5 for the month of October in Watch Me Suck at Bowling from New Palace Lanes in Fitchburg, Massachusetts. This is George F551 saying hope you enjoyed and have a good one.